Hey, this is Bob from PyBites. Welcome back to our YouTube channel, to another video. Last week was a bit quiet, but I will make up this week by doing 3 videos. So starting today is a video on datetime and calendar and dateutil, and I will give you 5 tricks to take your datetimes to the next level. Hope you like it. 12 minutes of practical coding. Enjoy it. Right, let's write some code. First, I'm going to import datetime, date, and time delta. I can get today's date by doing date today. And I can store that in today. And time delta is very useful to define a date in the future. So I can do today plus time delta days is 70. And that gives the date in 70 days, which is already in the new year. Next week will be the 3rd of November. And that's correct, because today is the 27th of October. That's very useful to set deadlines in your code. For example, when a key is about to expire, when a subscription is about to end, etc. Let's see how old PyBites is. PyBites born. Date 2016, the month was December, and the day was the 19th. Again, today it's 27th of October, 5 years later. So if I do today minus PyBites born, I get 1773 days. We can store that in a div quickly. And we can see the days, we can see the total seconds, and we can see with dir what else is available on a time delta object. We don't have years, unfortunately, so I can use Python dateutil to get the years by using a relative delta. So from dateutil import from dateutil relative delta, import relative delta, and I need to pip install this. Or go to a project that already has it. And if I use relative delta, I can give it 2 arguments. So today and PyBites born. And I get a relative delta, which does have a year's attribute. So it's 4 years. Also has a month attribute, 10 months. And days then is the remaining 8. So relative delta from the Python dateutil module is, you can say, a more robust time delta object. Right, trick number 2. If we want to convert strings into datetimes, we can use the srtp time method. Actually, I'll say method, but let's actually see what it is. It's a class method, actually. And I'm looking that up with pysource, which is one of our open source packages. So I can call help on this. And it says new datetime parsed from a string. So let's get a date string. And then use srtp time with that date string, and then we have to give it the proper format codes. So in this case, that's year dash month dash day. And now it converted that into a datetime object. If I got the string wrong, then it will raise a value error. If I want the time as well in there, so for example the 27th of October at 9 in the morning, 9:05. So of course it does not match. It actually has a nice error handling saying that the unconverted data remains is the t. So I need a literal t, I need the hours, colon, minutes, colon, seconds. And now it made a datetime object. An easier way to do this is using fuzzy parsing, also supported by the dateutil library. So I do from dateutil parser import parse. And parse is kind of smart about this, because if I give it the string, it manages to make that same datetime object for me without me having to memorize all those format codes, which I usually have to look up in the Python documentation. Tip number 3. If you want to get a calendar, there are some really interesting things in this module. So let's do a dir on this. And what I'm looking for is the month calendar. That's a bound method, and it requires a year and a month. So we're now at this time of recording in 2021, and we're in October. So this gives me the calendar of this month, which we can verify by using the Unix cal command. And interesting, I think this counts from Monday. Let's actually do a bit of reading on this. Returns a matrix representing a month's calendar. Each row represents a week. Days outside this month are 0. So I think it starts the weeks with Monday, which usually happens in Python. So this will be 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, up until 31 being a Sunday. Anyway, this is pretty useful, and we use this on our platform to build a coding streak calendar. So these calendar months are directly rendered using calendar's month calendar. Another useful thing you can do with the calendar module is to get all the months, so you don't have to type them out. I'm not sure, but you have to slice it, and the first element is empty. So I usually take everything starting the second element, and here are the month days. Then of course you can also make a little dictionary comprehension by using enumerate. So we can enumerate this sequence starting at 1. That provides a bunch of tuples of the index, number, and the value. And I can read them back as and now I got a dictionary where numeric months are the keys and the string months are the values. And the power of dictionary comprehensions is that I can easily swap this, and now I got a dictionary of where the month strings are the keys and the numeric months are the values. Tip number 4, converting a Unix timestamp into a datetime object. We can make a Unix timestamp by using the time module. And here we have a Unix timestamp. Now datetime has a lot of useful methods, and one is UTC from timestamp. Again, we can use the help to see what it does. Constructs a naive UTC datetime. That's important actually, that datetimes in Python are naive by default, and that means that they're not time zone aware. Time zones is a whole different subject on its own. It's pretty complicated, so I probably will do a separate video on that. And it makes that from a POSIX timestamp. So giving this the Unix timestamp, which I did not put in a variable, so that's just called again. I get a timestamp, I get a datetime of this exact moment in time. And the last tip, number 5, getting the current day and weekday. So remember we had this today date object. You can call year on it, day, month, and today is 27. What you can also do is call weekday on it, which is a method. And it's 2 because it's Wednesday, and as we saw before with the calendar, Python starts the week with Monday as 0. So 0, 1, 2, Wednesday is the 3rd day with an index of 0. So that's pretty useful in cron jobs. On Heroku, for example, cron jobs run every day. You cannot say like run it only Wednesday. So my fix for that is to just check the weekday, and if it's the weekday of my choice, continue, and if it's not, abort the script. And lastly, to see what week in the year it is, because we, as PyBites, we have our wins file, and it's just one big file with the weeks and then the wins. So I'm always confused what week we are in the year, so I can use ISO calendar, and that has a week attribute, which gives 43. And actually I find that so useful that I put that in an alias as a one-liner to import date and then do day to day ISO calendar week. So if I just call this from my terminal, I get 43, as that's the current week of the year. Hey, it's Bob again. I hope you enjoyed that video, that you learned at least a couple of new tricks you can use in your daily work with Python. If you have any questions or feedback, please comment below. Also make sure that you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of our future Python and mindset videos. See you in the next video.